When you prepare.
You got two of these down, or you got one well,
This one, it's, I do have the Zoom chat.
Okay.
There.
You did this without no glass, right? Nobody read.
Yeah, we're good. Frank gets a little pushy sometimes, but you know, we can handle it.
Okay.
All right. All right, let's bring the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty, justice for all. Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from August 20th. Second. All in favor? Okay. Payroll is approved. All right. That's good, Arlen. What is happening? How is Conway incinerated? Good. Yep.
Gonna let him walk to your mouth.
Okay.
Oh, I see on the, we've got trench issues. The only issue that I could see is when the can gets full down there, keep trying to shove stuff in.
Yeah.
So when I pull the can out, I put the diaper on, we got all that stuff, it's not going in the can, it goes on the ground.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out a way to solve, seeing you guys some extra work.
Yep.
Because I have to kick it off to the side. Put the can back on after I dump it. I know Richard has to go down there and clean it up. Every day before they open.
Right.
It's not old pack.
Both the Packers.
MS.
Well, right.
And the single sorter pad because the cotton.
All right.
Once you get packed so much, cardboard won't pack.
Right.
I was just trying to figure a way to alleviate you guys extra work.
Yep.
Not make such a mess, pull the can off.
Right.
The other day, I had Kathy call to have someone come down, because I was pulling multiple cans. So that they could clean the pads up,
Okay.
because what happens with the open. Time comes. Pull it out, you got a windrow of trash. Back wheel will start to pull that trash up in a pile and keep pulling it up.
Right.
And when I go to drop the can on the setting, can't get close to the wall is what they like it because of the trash.
Right.
So I just had her call, Richard came down and I pulled 2 cans, he cleaned those pads, and I got back from Maine, I pulled the 3rd one. And then, today, we're look. It was nice and clean and everything.
So we have a good fix.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, I mean, I'm willing. To a point. Have Richard or Cliff or somebody come in, I'll pull them off, because I know you guys have no way of pulling them off.
Right.
But I'll pull them off, set them aside, so that can be cleaned up, and then I'll put them back.
Sweet.
You know, it doesn't take me 10 minutes,
Oh, good. Glad to hear that.
but that's the only issue that I know.
Okay.
With Flip, I called him, he's very accommodating, very professional. It's good, it's good.
Good job, Clip.
So.
Bill?
Wow. Was brought up that there wasn't enough trash going into the can. It was going up. I think it was good.
All a good part of some. And what's happening is the can's getting full.
Right.
And they keep putting it in.
Right.
And it looks like it's going in the can, but
Right.
it's not. It's making a bale right between the can.
Right.
But when I pull the can out, it's like an accordion.
Right.
It just comes right out, and drops it on. So. I was just trying to figure a way to. I don't know, how does that work? Is that your pressure go up as it's getting full, as the can's getting full, does the pressure on your pump?
Just saying pressure on it, it's just going. Back, you know. Get so far, and like you say, they think it's not full, but they.
Yeah, it's spraying.
The brand's moving, they're thinking it's
Mhm.
got more room, but like you say, it's. 40.
Right. Yeah, I'm just.
Like it's hard, like low. It's full enough.
Can you see down between that ram and into the can when it's flat? When I open,
That would look.
cause if it's all the way back, you'll see it, cause that garbage will stop. It will follow that ram back. So, and then that's full, you can't put any more in, it's just gonna have a bunch end up on the ground.
No, if you read like Kathy was saying, the only time an issue like this at all.
Yeah.
Really don't go that far away, we're not far away. That's it.
I'm usually there fairly early in the morning. Sometimes, like, my first load, I'm usually there before you guys at work, but
What time's that?
I'm usually down there, don't say,
I'm at work.
you're at work, so, okay. Okay,
Yeah, just give me a call.
okay. I'll have Kathy do, give me.
He wakes me up, no, I'm kidding.
In the truck and on the road.
There you go.
Me. There's some. Pulling the cans for you guys, so you can clean the pads up, when it gets built up to a point where it needs to. I'm just pulling them off the side,
Right.
we get them cleaned up, I'll pull that. Right?
Bill?
Has there been a permanent solution found to the freezing of cans in the winter time? There's a little, every winter we go through this, and recycling, the people going to the transfer station. Putting stuff in there thinking it's going to recycle, when in fact it's going down the road into the actually get dumped in a landfill. And there's everybody in the state of Maine must be dealing with cold temperatures. So I'm just curious as how the other outfits make sure that the stuff in the can doesn't freeze so that Eco Maine can't get it out.
The problem is, I took one can down. Well,
Yeah.
and I couldn't dump it. And they wouldn't help me unload it. So I ended up having to take it back, and they ended up having to haul it to Berlin.
Well, I've talked to the Eco Maine people and they say they don't have any way of getting it out.
That is that.
So that's my question. How do we stop it from freezing before it gets to that? Does everybody in Maine just dump all this recycling in the winter time? No?
Right. That'd be my. Yeah. Do you got any, I mean, you guys haul for a lot of people.
Drivers, they haven't. Someone said they put something in the cans, like oil or something, like.
Spray the inside of it.
Yeah.
I heard that myself. They spray the inside.
They put something in, but, like, maybe saw one. see what they do to it.
No, Colin.
I'll. Yeah, but I think they do put something in there, because that stuff dumps all the way.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's good.
Yeah. And the recycling is the only thing you guys have an issue with. Because the trash, sometimes the trash is. Certain times in the winter, like mid-January. We can't get it out, lots of times we have to walk in, they have to pull it out with the estimator.
Right.
You said it gets sprayed, who sprays it?
I don't know if the boys do,
else they, if they approve, that's.
that's what I mean,
Somebody had to train.
yeah,
No,
that's what I heard, I don't know 100%. Sure that they have one, but their can's always down.
Right.
The only ones we have a problem with are private guys, their open tops. Which more exposed.
Yes. You ain't got a choice.
Your MSW cans. Heat. Well, so they stay pretty low. So, enough so I can shake them with the truck. Tipped out
Right.
and loosen them up, you know. So the open top are the bigger spot. You have more open tops than.
Yeah.
I really, you know how, I don't think we hauled a lot this year. Up there, over that hill. I think I might have hauled 3 or 4 cans up there. You got that break again and saw it out, and we didn't have to, we went right back to hauling, that's. Keep going. That's what we could. Yeah. Good.
Do you know when our contract is done with you, Kathy?
I do not have that.
No.
I'm
Okay.
not sure.
Just carrying on. Okay. Do you foresee any, because I know we did a 3-year and there was consistent increases in the can rentals and the trucking. What's your thought on that right now?
Yeah, if I've known that's,
Well, these are general questions. I'm just generally asking you. Well, are you anticipating any increases in can rentals and trucking in the near future? You know, because we're almost into fall and we're gonna start budget season next month. So that way we can plan accordingly. Okay. All right, sweet. Not sure I really want to ask you this question, but I'm gonna. If the town of Brownfield trucked our own waste, will we still have the availability for can rental for the containers? Right. Good. Okay. Not saying that's what we're doing, just a question when I ask. Carberry. I know they opened up a new spot and they said it was like 5 to 7 years, something like that, some years ago. You guys hearing anything up there about them getting full or having to open up more area or something like that because of collection or? They did, okay.
the, they.
We're still going up on what, right, they said we could go up another 35 feet. So.
So is there any talk of the area of it, the drop off changing, you know, because they're out of room or anything like that? No,
It's set for us to start on once we reach.
okay,
Yeah.
Well, I remember, what, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe a little longer. Remember they had talked about opening that up and the risk was there that we wouldn't have a place to take it and you guys are gonna have to find something else. So I figured some time had gone by with the amount of trash. If there was gonna be any concern with that, if we're gonna have to change the location and what. No, okay, all right. Okay. You got anything?
No, I don't think so.
You got anything, any questions for us, Kathy?
I can't think of any. Oh.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, perfect. I appreciate that very much. Yep. And thanks for the help with, keeping the pad clean and letting us know what's going on. That's good. Very much appreciated. Few years? Mhm. It's been a couple days.
Little tin temple.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Very much appreciate your time. Take care. So. All right, we have department heads. Tax collector treasurer,
Mhm.
you are listed
Oh,
Ah.
I have nothing new to report this week.
there.
No,
Nothing?
no.
No good news, no bad news, no nothing?
We have Beth being trained for everything and she's working out very nicely.
But
And, yeah,
good choice.
yeah,
Good job.
that's all. That's all we've been doing.
I mean. ACO,
Yeah, so every cat, I guess. The dogs, one section back up 15. And found more cats coming out of the woodwork,
nice.
so took there trying to catch them. More cats on Burger Pond Road, which is another issue about spot. Feral cats,
Really?
yeah. And following up with a complaint on 58 Denmark Road.
Yep.
I think you better report because I had a safe and hide in my car, so.
Okay.
They got left home because I flew here,
Yeah,
but I guess I plan on getting the dog. Let's solve the issue.
okay.
Because we told the
The
dog.
Reeds are rehoming the dogs. They're doing away with that. Are they gonna maintain their kennel license or no? They're done with it. All right. Dickie won't be here tonight. He is at an open house for SAD 72. Mr. Lucy.
The public safety building committee has had a few meetings. I'm gonna try to do a brief update, monthly for people who, don't wanna go to the meetings or something, move them to the evenings, for the moment. We're averaging about every 2 weeks we're meeting. We have a couple of letters of introductions from some engineering firms. To review those. Meeting, which is Thursday. And that's kind of it. We're shooting some building ideas back and forth. Nothing's really set in stone at all about anything till we can start meeting with engineers and architecture firms, which won't really happen until we send an RFP out, which won't happen until we get an audit report, so we have access to money that we put in for our meeting. So once that happens, then we can kind of move forward. Moment we're waiting for that audit, but we have money, and then we can move forward with talking to engineers and architects and see where we. What we do. About it.
Sweet. Thank you. Billy Boy.
I was asking a little bit earlier, the whereabouts of my badge. It's remains at the shop down in North One, where I'm having it repolished. The agenda, fire extinguishers, first aid kits, and safety meetings. I kid you not, if I tried to cover this, we'll be here at midnight, not even halfway through. So. I'll tell you what, I have little fire extinguishers. Should I go into fire extinguishers? Okay. That fire extinguisher over there has a tag. If you look closely at it, there's a punch hole in it. I called the company whose name appears on it. They told me to look at the punch hole and go 1 year from that. And that's when they're due for a total inspection by the company. Fine, got that, that's easy. Said now, the little squares where we initially, as we checked it on a monthly basis, the guy starts going bananas. You are not to check them on a monthly basis. Someone from our company goes around and checks them.
That's a little.
Has anyone ever seen anyone other than the fire chief check those?
No.
Oh, okay. Uh-oh, I've checked them. Oh, all right.
What it is, Bill, is,
Yeah, check.
safety works. You've got a, like this office has a sheet, rec center, public
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, I'll try to break my.
Fire extinguishers, jacks, chains,
Yeah.
swings, chairs, whatever. It's a monthly thing, you just check to make sure the gauge is on,
But
charged, it's not broke.
That's safety works.
Yes, but that little tag, the little blue tag. Yes. You just date it and next that you, I don't know what that guy,
I will gladly do that, but the employees
that's
of
what-
that company told me to not touch that tag.
you can ask Frank, or you can ask Brian back here, that's what safety works.
Okay, but I'm gonna start initially. I want another badge. Okay, that's fire safety.
It's supposed to
First
be-
aid kits.
Frank and I are gonna cover that in
I
executive.
contacted OSHA. I have a description of one of these things here from OSHA as to what. Community like Brownfield, the size of the community, its type, the typical offices, what we need for a kit. And compared to these surgical ones that we have around town now. OSHA, a piece of gauze and a Band-Aid, and you're fine. So I don't know from whence these things that we have now, someone wanted them, someone got them. But they're overkill to the nth degree as far as the people who go around inspecting these things are concerned. Whatever the town wants, the town shall have. But I need something, if you want me to check them, I need some direction and guidance as to, am I checking 2 of that type and 3 of those type? And 4 of those and 1 of those? Because there's a difference of opinion depending upon who I talk to when I go to a particular office. As to what they want and what they need.
Okay, so let's cover that right now.
Okay,
What is the wants and what is the needs?
I believe we should have whatever safety works or OSHA. Said we need
Okay,
minimum of whatever,
yep.
they make them all the same,
I agree with the standard across the
just
board.
because this. The other 3.
We physically have a kid here and they'll put you back together twice.
yeah,
Well, and that's what we're trying to do away with, because we're paying exponentially for that capability that's not going to be utilized. So if we can save some money, and even if they're the smaller, kits that we can buy 10 of them for, say, $1,000, we're gonna cut our expense by over half of what we're paying to Cintas, right? And we're still covering our requirements. So,
Today's world, an aspirin, Band-Aid. Anything other than that, that's when rescue is hard.
right, agreed.
So you don't need, like Bill was saying, you don't need the 3x4, 6 box of what rescue, you know.
I would just.
Well, I'd appreciate it. I don't want to buy them.
I would just assume that we return to days when they were all the same. They were all, and people knew what was supposed to be in them. However, in fairness to everyone in this room, there is a spot in this town next door where we have people coming in and say they want to use the kitchen. So they're cooking up a meal. So poof, they get a burn.
So
What do they do?
we can get a burn kit. The burn kit's a pretty standard anyway. So we could have, get a burn kit and put it in the kitchen. It's marked, it's inspected monthly, you know. Would I recommend an eye wash station? Public Works should have one, yes. Yep,
The transfers.
yep. And they both got them. So,
And
yeah, they do have. Well, they do. I mean,
What else you need, not watch
they take a staple to the eye. I mean, washing it ain't gonna help. No. So. I get it.
they include burn kit. And
You know,
that's-
what I would say, Bill, is we standardize the first aid kits for all locations. And then we get a separate burn kit for the kitchen in the
Okay. What-
communities.
So what is one? Surgical. Yes.
They'll get turned back into the company, Cintas.
All this office.
Correct. It's contract.
Okay. The issue of water testing. I have no objections to learning to where to take the kid and da 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 da. Matter of fact, I'm going to ask the address, et cetera, et cetera. I'm gonna go and introduce myself. I will do the water testing, but someone's gonna have to show me how, and where I'm taking it. And if you say, go anywhere past the state line store on the way to North Carolina, say I'm lost, so. I need the.
I can, Bill, I can take you up.
Okay.
Mike raises his hand, he'll show you what you gotta do as far as water testing and all that. But I'll take you up to Conway and show you right where to go.
Gosh, I know one. I read the chapter on water issues in my safety box of it. And it's concerning health type stuff. The other night, I left the meeting here. Thursday, I was out in front. Talking to the animal control officer. I couldn't help but notice that over here on the side, there were a whole bunch of folks riding. Palominos around. Big bunch of folks having horseback riding. While I was watching them, I couldn't help but then notice a woman in a station wagon. Next to the gate at the skateboard park at a faucet, filling up big mother jugs. Putting them in the back of her car. And I remember a time, remember the faucet went upside down?
Yeah.
Pull up. Then everything stops, I'm getting old, but everything starts getting a little hot. There was talk of radon in the water for this building. We had it tested and it was said it's fine.
Yep.
But the people were told not to get water here. Now there's obviously someone who's decided that they can do water there. Does anyone know who this person is? And why do people get water from somewhere other than their own home and farm?
Not everybody has running water. So typically, and I don't know about each town, but when I moved into Harrison, we didn't have water either. So we were able to go to the fire station, fill jugs, bring it back, bathe, drink, cook, do everything. So I don't know if Brownfield is allowing that, but that's what we were
You
allowed.
own a home, you don't have to run your
Yeah,
water.
my homework completed yet.
Probably
And not everybody,
think
and
so.
some people live in
Those
campers, some
statutory
live in tents, not everybody has a home.
Had to off his
That's all around here, thanks.
You know what I mean? So that, I think that's to offer water to somebody is almost like a human responsibility, you know what I mean? I don't think we can, well, we shouldn't.
Since the state says,
You know,
you're the one who's supplying it, and there's ever a problem, you're the one that's gonna pay.
but we've already put the radon system in, that's all been taken care of. It's
And it's the same, well,
the same
for
one.
the spigots out there.
Goes through the same system, the same radon.
So there's people around town that go here and get their water. Supply of water.
From my understanding, it's decades old, people doing that. A lot of places where it's very sandy here, there are dug wells. And in the middle of summer, if we don't have, yep, they come up here and they pull their water from town.
Okay. Shut up.
The spigot at the skate park is the same well, the other spigots are from the well.
Community center. Yeah.
Just to clarify.
So lastly, the safety meetings, the safety committee, I have a couple of volunteers. I mean, just a couple, I'd like a couple more. But here's the situation, and I'm not gonna mince any words, that's not the way I am. I went to the transfer station and asked for their policy procedure manual and other literature that they keep up with. And I started putting in markers on the pages that needed correction or updating for it. And I stopped at about 23 or 24. And I really got angry when I found 2 or 3 that I put in myself when I was on the board of selectmen 2 or 3 years ago. No one had ever even updated that. As a matter of fact, in the book right now, the last person that updated it on a certain issue, his name is Charles Day, and it's from 2017 or 18. And the contact person is Megan Whitman. So I think we're a little bit behind. So I have the book at home. I was gonna bring it with me tonight, and I thought, I hope it's that gonna, not gonna do anything but tonight. But I would like permission to bring it in to the office and to sit someday without me and go through it and say, now, which one of these can we correct quickest? There should be pages that we can reprint and put in the correct contact person page or whatever. As far as the meetings go, I have all of these things from the Bureau of Labor Standards and the Safety and Health meeting minutes, all this kind of stuff. There isn't a single department in the town that's up to date on the mandatory meetings. Some of them haven't had a mandatory meeting in 2 or 3 years. I'm really at a loss where to even start with this bill, since everybody is new. There was a time when all of them had been through half, 3 or 4 times. Now it's all new folks, and I'm gonna have to start from scratch. Again, with the permission of the board, I would like to combine. I'll go through them and find which, because there are several that are common to both this office and the people who work at the transfer station and the people at public works. They all need a certain program. If I could get the people from safety works to get down here and do them, maybe do half one whack and a half the next time. I'd like to get this thing going and get it up to date as quickly as I can. Because it's not gonna be pleasant for me, one walking around with the inspector. Okay,
You have full permission, Bill.
thanks. And no one touch that fire.
Hair plugs, I mean, code enforcement. Where's your badge?
So, thanks for buying that. I only use it when I have to. We had a complaint, come in last week, I wasn't here last week, but we had a complaint come in, several complaints come in last week. Barking dogs and stuff, I passed that dog either, yeah, that's probably a Cindy thing, not a money thing, so that can get redirected. We had a complaint from DEP, I'm sorry, that was the Denmark one, Cindy.
Yeah, but I should get rid of, wait, no, wait,
She said,
no, wait a minute,
whatever.
She did.
I should get rid of it,
What?
I should get. Email,
What letter did you see? What letters he talking about?
yeah,
For the complaint.
Another letter from us?
Yeah, it's in the file, she'll give her tonight.
but I should get
every
everything come in, I should have to wait.
Hold up,
yesterday,
hold up.
If it was fun.
and it needs to go to the board.
Candidates. Robert Parker, patient has that one. Oh, yeah,
And then all those pages under there, that were
Oh,
reviews,
yeah.
we would give to her.
okay,
Wanted to make sure I was doing it correct.
yeah. And we have, these are all copies for her, where are all copies? Okay, all right, here we go. Okay. Code? No, we're good.
Shoreland issue is DEP this time, so DEP's reached out and they wanted to know why. The owner of 197 Moody Meadow was working in the river. Or Frank read the letter at the church and he directly. So I went down there today, I didn't find the resident, the homeowner wasn't there, so I couldn't ask him the questions that needed to. Driveway permits I spent some time with Cliff today, and I don't want to say it's an issue, but it's certainly something that we need to correct, so. What we've come to the conclusion of is, people come in on a Friday, they go down they own land in town, they go down to the rental place, they rent an excavator, they decide they wanna put their driveway here, they go blow it in. That's right, that's what happened, we come back on Tuesday, they ask for an address for a building permit. That's backwards of what we need to do. We need to look at the land first to make sure that's where Cliff wants the driveway. Make sure that it works with the town roads and such. So I mean, if the public's listening, we're just hoping that they can come and get the driveway permit first. That's the first step. Keep property. Just making sure that the driveway is where it needs to be, then we can address it and get building permits and so on. And lastly, I know you guys asked me about the kitchen sink in the break room. And I can do that, I measured it today, it's gonna have to be like, I don't wanna say an unusual sink, but the cabinet that's in there isn't that the size of a kitchen cabinet, it's got a drawer in it, so we'll have to lose the drawer. Do a single bowl sink, will have to be like 18 deep, maybe 20 wide, 24 wide, or something like that. Most of them are 20 by 20 or 20 by 22. Probably find a sink that will break. That's the whole lot, I can't really give you a price, till I know what the sink is and that. But as soon as we do that, then I'll move right forward, and we got that weeks ago to do it, so I'll just, once we get the sink that will fit, we'll send the guy in and take care of it.
Okay,
That's all I had, thank you.
sweet. Public Works,
Yeah. Guess you got estimates of running,
yes,
of paving.
right there, yep.
Yeah.
Those seal coating is at the Public Works building, right? Yeah.
Okay, so. We got several ones here, for different jobs. Burnt Meadow Pond Road, all states to do the 1.5 inch overlay, which they've said is pretty critical in order to maintain what we've got. At 36,859.38, and then DNR for the same job, 1.5 inch overlay, 94,500. So, I think that's
Kind of no brainer.
yeah, that takes a lot. So I would make the motion that we do the all states construction for Burnt Meadow Road overlay for 36,859.38.
Second.
All in favor? Scratch the win. Now we have different ones to do the paving at the rec center, which will include. Yeah, you got this. It include the loop down the right side of the building, fire lane from the building over, additional 10 feet gives us a fire lane and gives us handicap parking so that they are close to the ramp, not down by the road. And also this out here next to the building so that we have the handicap exit ramp platform and then runs out. So the rec center for Allstate was 30,693.40. DNR. That's a dead one. All right, so DNR had two, actually. Just the rec center, just the rec, the side, the loop with the fire lane, 36,900, and an additional 6,000 to do this side coming up this building with the platform and the ramp for handicap access out. So their total on DNR was 42,900. Cliff did Allstate look at next to here?
Try to get all Charlie on that. Oh,
No.
right.
It's 30, I mean, that's $13,000 difference. You know what I mean? That's quite a bit.
Where's the DNR? 6,000.
Yeah, on the second page of DNR, it had the tack coat, 2-inch asphalt, the rec center parking lot, 100 by 8, 130 by 9, and then services handicap ramp, which I thought was this out here. Okay, right. So and Charlie's Allstate. Okay. You wanna wait to see what he comes up with on this? I would, that's 13 grand. I think we could wait another week, see if we can get somebody in after Labor Day weekend, because that's this weekend, so. How soon do you think you can reach out to Charlie?
Try calling today. So,
Yeah,
Really, the price on paving of the parking lot is that's listed separate, so that's 36,900, this is 30,600.
right, right.
The only thing that Only reason I mean, I guess week's not gonna matter, but getting on the schedule is pretty tough.
Right. Yeah. That's 13 grand. Well, not quite 13. 12 grand.
So it seemed like you ought to be able to do that rent for that. You know what I mean? Less than, in other words,
Should just go with these guys.
that's what I'm doing. That's what I would do, because I'm quite sure he can do that ramp for less than $13,000.
Yeah, Chris, I hope so. Okay, all right, for the rec center and the paving next to the building for the handicap exit, I'll make a motion for all states construction. To do that,
On second.
all in favor? Oh, DNR's junk. There's junk. Okay, DNR with the seal coating for the public works parking lot, 3,175. Make a motion, we approve that. All in favor? Two. Anything else, Cliff?
I talked to Denmark forever about those 10 gauges they have on the mirrors.
Yep.
There's the ambient temperature at the road down. Get them from Viking, about 750. I never used one, so I don't know.
Well, I can tell you they're a big help.
They are.
Definitely.
One truck, two truck? What are you looking at?
750 a piece.
Is that something you put on every truck?
Yeah, it's a little hairy.
You got the budget for it?
So I was thinking of putting it on. Like one that's gonna be on both ends down. Just ride it.
It's a 550.
I'll tell you what I used to have it on the pickup. So like if I go out and check the road, especially if it's raining, and get the road temperature. You know, it's getting real close, it's a big help.
Yeah.
Cause I mean, it's kind of a guessing game, it could be. You know, there's areas where it's not froze, areas where it is froze. But those things are pretty accurate.
I don't know what you would. Create all the money from. Say this money,
We use capital improvement, I know it's public works, capital improvement. Because there was an article in last year's warrant that wrote anything unexpended went in, rolled over into capital improvements. Public works capital improvement, correct? Yeah, so we got the money there. And that's just majority vote of the board.
Well, I definitely recommend at least putting it on one truck, I tell you.
So do two trucks, start off with two trucks. Sound good? Two trucks? Okay. So make a motion that we purchase two. Install them on the trucks that the public works director deems necessary, and the funding will come from like public works capital improvement account.
Second.
All in favor? Perfect. Okay. Two tanks. Public works. Perfect. Sure. Okay. Rec director.
Yes. I missed you guys on the last meeting, so just a quick update. Brownfield Day. Despite the weather, Fairly seamlessly. We get it in Friday night, one of the inflatables getting off and blowing off, but besides that, we get that fixed by early morning and we had a great day. So we just wanted to thank all the volunteers, all the town people, fire department, public works, everybody that helped out, everybody that came, the pictures, was involved. It was a great day, it was a lot of fun. So thanks for everybody for joining us. Right now, we have fall sports sign up. The fifth and sixth grade soccer have been going for a few weeks now. Matter of fact, they're up to scrimmaging tonight. We came through 4. We have soccer sign-ups through Friday. And then we can start next week. Getting the schedule on for the meetings and stuff for that. You can pick up forms in the lobby here or online. And hopefully we'll have a good turnout. We usually have good numbers before. We have an upcoming Friends of Rec meeting September 11th at 6:30. Open to the public. We'll be doing some fall planning for Halloween and Veterans Day. Weekly, we still got the community coffee hour on Thursdays, 9:30. Yoga Thursday nights at 6. We have a book club first Friday of every month. That'll be 9/7 at 4 p.m. And we have watercolor and painting every other Monday, 1 p.m. And that's what's going on.
Cliff?
I just wanted to mention, who was talking about getting a sign.
Yep.
Where was it located? Because if you're gonna pay the rec, if that's where it's gonna go over that way, you need it.
Let's hash that right now. I think where it's at is fine. It's digital side, both sides. So you can do, both sides can be different. You know what I mean? Should be able to do some pretty cool stuff with it. Parking it in front of the community center. I don't see a reason to do that. The sign location is fine and we can tap the power off of the substation.
Yeah, and I would recommend moving it back a little bit.
Right.
So you can see getting out of the parking lot.
Right. No, agreed, but moving it down the street, I don't think is, because we don't have to worry about the paving, anything over to the community center. Not to mention going into a brick building, twice the distance away. Than just out here to the substation that we're already paying power on. And it's gonna be single dollar, so, we run power out there, it's just that. It'll run the light, it'll run the sign, the whole 9 yards. So. Is that our decision?
You just made a motion, right?
Yeah, I make a motion, we keep it where it is. In the same general area.
I'll say.
All in favor? Perfect. Done.
Any ideas on the painting of the roofs of
The what?
the roofs? If we're gonna be paving over there for the handicap ramp, and they're gonna be putting something down to hold those roofs up.
Well, have you heard from either
Yeah.
Jake's or Kyle?
Yep. Sweet. He doesn't have a date for the roof, but he said he'd come over and look at getting a footer or a base, so they could cave around it and top to the survey once it's finished. I don't know the timeline, I couldn't give him the timeline on paving, and I don't know the timeline on the roof or the painting. I mean, that's something that's yet to be scheduled, but by the sounds of it, the paving is gonna happen first.
Yeah, paving's definitely gonna happen first,
Right,
because those guys pack up for them,
right.
so.
So,
The painting, we're gonna get to in a minute. Skate park, what's going on with that?
I did. Right now, there's nothing going on with it.
Okay, we need to get on it.
What do you wanna do with it?
Make a skate park. There's money in the budget. For it to be a skate park. There was a skate park prior. So. That's was in the warrant. So let's start making something happen.
Well, I suggest someone finding. Items that are less than $500 in there, because we've looked at buying stuff and it's well, a lot more than $500. The $500 that was in the budget for the last 2 years was for maintenance, so filling cracks, replacing plywood, wasn't for building a skate park.
Okay,
So that
But
is,
do you have a plan together so that we can start working on and getting some money? I mean, we got Friends of Rec, they've got money. I mean, we gave them money out of our own budget this year, just like last year, so there should be monies available. Fundraiser, anything like that, depending upon what's needed out there. We got capital improvement money that can be utilized for that. Because to be very honest with you, when that skate park went in, if it was daylight out and it wasn't snow on the ground, that place was hopping. Hopping. The most activity I've seen on town property the whole time I've lived here. So I think it's pretty critical that we get something moving on that.
yeah, I think it's still gonna move quite a bit. But we can certainly continue to get working on, I mean, we're going into the fall here, so do you wanna try to rebuild a skate park right now out here?
No, but we can get a plan put in place and get some monies allocated though. I mean, that money's been available since July 1st. So we're already 60 days past that. Is there any plans that have gone into the skate park at all?
The only thing that I've looked at is trying to get it string trimmed or weed whacked, was mentioned online the other day. And the maintenance was always done by volunteers, either blown out or weed whacked or whatever. So that's something maybe we should talk to our mower guy about.
Yeah, we can do that.
Around the shed, my maintenance shed out back. That's not string trimmed or mowed around. I had to nap them out and kill 20 nests around the building. It's all overgrown out there. So
Which one's that?
the maintenance shed out behind the ball field. That's all
So-
overgrown and stuff.
And
So that might be a solution to 2 problems right there.
right. Okay. Had you talked to the mower guy about the maintenance shed at all?
I have, no.
Okay. And any issues with the fields?
Well, this time of year, the grass is, I just painted the soccer field second time yesterday, the grass is getting. It's growing back now pretty good. So it's, the first time he mowed it, kind of got hay.
Yeah.
It's got a little long on him. So. It's back, it needs to be mowed again, usually comes. When it needs to be mowed, but we're kind of falling a little bit behind now. So I was gonna reach out to him just to see. If we could get it, what happens is if we get it painted and the grass gets long, then he cuts all the grass and we lose all our painting.
And
Paint's pretty expensive.
And that's both the soccer fields?
I have 2 soccer fields.
Right,
Yeah.
both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Another issue that. Should be looked at is the bench area is not mowed. The last 40 feet of the property. So.
Okay. And that's been done previously, correct?
The last 2 years, the guy that's mowed the property, has been asked not to mow the last strip of that land over there. By the whole residents.
His land or ours?
I'm assuming it's his land, he's asked the guy to stay off his properties.
Oh, okay. Guess we don't
The
need to know what
benches-
this is.
The benches are on that property,
He allow you to use them,
he's allowed us to use them, but they're
but he don't want us maintaining.
correct.
That's pretty.
I'll make a call over Leah. That field's been used for 20 years. He bought it too late. Town's already been using. So, see the legality. Cause that's bullshit. Yeah, she used it, then, oh, don't, like, come on. I just wait for kids to get screwed up doing shit like that. So, okay. All right, you're gonna call the mower guy tomorrow?
I'll reach out to him.
What time are you gonna do that?
I can reach out to him tonight. He's usually more available in the evenings, actually. But I can reach out first thing in the morning, 8, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, get with me on that. Oh,
Okay,
get with me on that.
yeah.
Okay. So, one topic, we were talking about the painting. Joe Egan had reached out. And talking or requesting to see about if there's any monies out there, grants, if you will, for projects. And it actually got a really good response back from a Terry Ann Holden, Maine.gov. And he asked a bunch of questions, estimate like painting the exterior of the community center, estimated cost 35,000. ADA code compliant entrances at both town office and the community center, estimated cost 30,000. Possibly extending the roof over the community center entrance, estimated cost 20,000. And he got a very good response. So I would direct to Joe pretty much how receptive she seemed to be and what the process is that we would need to do.
Okay. This is with the Department of Economic Community Development, TECD. And when we were doing the comprehensive plan, we found that there is a grant, a block grant available, so that you could spruce up things along Main Street. And explain to Terry and Holden that, you know, we don't have a village center. She said, it doesn't matter, you know, these are still town buildings that you can apply for grants for. So my questions to her, as Rick outlined, were kind of, you know, like general estimates for the work to be done. There's no scope of work per se.
That's all.
But I will say this, when Barb, myself, Willie, we're over there looking at paint colors. You notice that a lot of the wood, and we also noticed this when we were doing the estimate for the community center, a lot of the wood on that building is in rough shape. And when I spoke to Terry Ann Holden, she said that could be part of it. In other words, you could replace the wood with something hardy plank or whatever, and include that in your request, you know, for the grant. And if we did go with something like hardy plank, you can get that pre-finished, so that would really kind of preclude any painting that needed to be done with that. She didn't answer on the digital sign. I'm going to follow up with her on that. But I would tend to think that that would, you know, basically have that same answer. Yes, it's exterior. I'd asked her about, you know, I threw some other things in there just to kind of find out what she might say, expanding this room, adding air conditioning, taking care of the toilet rooms in the community center, making them ADA compliant, that sort of thing. She said they really end at the outside of the building, so they wouldn't be included. But she said usually with ADA, there's other avenues to look for money. So I'll look into that a little bit more, because that would be nice to get those avenues fixed up. Nothing else. I'm sure you all know what I mean. So anyway, they've already made their awards for this year, 2024, and the next round is going to start sometime in November. So she told me to get back in touch with her to find out what that date is before Thanksgiving. The very first thing we need to do is send a letter of intent. In other words, what do we plan on doing? They review it and they decide whether we're eligible or not to apply. Now, one thing she outlined for me is that, here's what she has to say. The town of Brownfield is listed as 56.50% low to moderate income. This makes some of the things that we want to do eligible. and because of those things I just mentioned, maybe even like the ADA office about entryways. So one of the questions I had, because we were talking about putting in ADA compliant doors at front here. And a lot of times when you have two sets of doors, there's usually needs to be a certain amount of distance between each set of doors. So I explained to her that we might need to push those doors out a little bit. And she said, whatever you need to do to make it ADA compliant would be covered. You can include that in the grant. So, that would be nice. If we need that 10 feet in between doors, we could include that cost in here. The very first thing is a letter of intent. And they said it takes them about 5 or 6 days to decide, and then they'll tell us. After that, we have to go out and we have to get bids on everything. There is a 25% obligation on the town's part. But she did say that if we, let's say we want to hire an architect to do plans for this work, that could be included in that 25%. Some grants won't let you do that. They expect that if you're really interested, you're going to get an architect and you're going to have the, have the design drawn up by the architect. And then I'm sure there's other things that come out of that 25%, not only construction, but if there's anything else that we need. So we are eligible in that sense. The way it usually works, she cautioned me. She said, you go through the process after the letter of intent, you've got several months to apply, and then after you apply, they'll get back to us in approximately. Let me see if I can find this here. 5 to 6 weeks. So once they let us know that that the money will be available, the way we get the money is first we fill out some paperwork. The way we get the money is as the work is done, we can submit an invoice to her department every 2 weeks, and then they will put money into our account in approximately 10 to 14 days, and then we can pay our contractors. So one of the things we need to make sure is that whomever we hire to do the work, that they can, wait for those 2 weeks. They won't be looking for a check as soon as, they get 2 weeks of work done. So, so that's where it stands now. And she said with this year, the money became available this month. So we wouldn't be able to really start work until, let's say, this time next year. We would still have enough time to get exterior work done, provided that we get everything awarded, we get everybody scheduled, we get materials ordered, so that we can tell them to get started on the project. Now, the one thing we might need to do if we want to maintain that timetable is we might have to pay for material costs for the doors. Whenever we hire to do the ADA doors, they'll probably want money up front to make sure that we're not going to cancel the job after they've ordered the doors, and we don't want them anymore. But I would imagine that the town would be able to front that money, and then once we're able to submit a bill to the state will then reimburse us. So we won't be on the hook for it. We'll just have to front the money. It's okay with the select board. So that's pretty much it. But it would be nice if we get the painting of the community center, the ADA doors on both buildings, and the digital sign. I'll find out and report back. Rolled into one grant and apply for that. So that's the long and short of it.
Sounds good to me. They save a lot of money. 25%. So, what do you think about doing a letter of intent? The reason I'm asking about doing a letter of intent right now is if we do it, we'll get an answer back before November 7th referendum. At that point, because of grant, we can do a referendum question for November 7th or 4th, whatever day, the 4th. We can do referendum asking permission for X amount of dollars. You know what I mean? That way we're following what was voted with the amendment this past meeting. And we're asking the taxpayers for the money. And the thing is, I mean, our awesome treasurer can tell us where we pull it from without a raise and appropriate. So, and we're looking at time frame. So the paving, I think, is one good thing with the ramp stuff that we can honestly look at the attorney and say, okay, this is a positive step forward like we talked about.
Right.
Maybe Kyle and Jeff Jakes want to put those jobs off. If we can roll in the roof and the siding and painting into one shot and possibly get Kyle to do the sheathing as well. He's a general. You know, if it'll save us, because we got, well, 52,000 in community center maintenance between last year and this year. It's 26,000 both years. So, correct? In the community center maintenance line?
I don't know off the top of my head on that one. Like,
Is that? I'm a little bit confused. You raise 26,000 each year. Does that account? I mean, does that keep rolling over automatically or what's it?
this is an article saying for it
See,
to
that's the
roll
problem.
over.
So I don't even know what we have to roll over. Did you get a look, put together a list of rollover accounts? Okay. So this one was 26, 24, 25. Yeah, before. Yeah. 26. So we rolled $26,000 over into surplus. If it wasn't a rollover item, so I don't know if it is.
Right.
If that maintenance was previously a rollover account. But if it is, the one is we're at 52,000. And we raised 6,000 before that. So, and of course, I don't know the expenditures. Well,
I would,
if anything's come out.
I would personally highly doubt that it is, with it being in that.
Right.
In that budget.
It's a local. Into
Yeah.
surplus.
Right.
Yeah, I would think the same thing. So even 26,000. So. Would you be interested in doing a letter of intent? Yes. Well, I wouldn't think we'd have to raise and appropriate anything. I mean, it'd take an awful lot. Because it's the community center, so we should be able to expend it out of the maintenance items. For that, and that's 26,000 plus whatever stayed in there, I don't know what did. So.
It's kind of some in building,
Oh, yeah, we've got capital improvement account as well. That we could utilize. That way there is no raise and appropriate. But if we do a letter of intent now. Get an answer in a couple of weeks.
Letter of intent, no.
So we can't do a letter of intent now. So that we can do a referendum question on November 4th. Ballot. For. The taxpayers to vote on. Agreeing 25% payout.
Well, if we can come up with an estimate that we're comfortable with, figure out what that 25% is, then, you know, we'd have a dollar of it.
Right.
Something that we feel comfortable with. But we can't submit the letters then until we could draft it up. But she'll let us know in November. And it's sometime in November that we should submit it.
So we could. We submit it in November, we could change it, we could have a special meeting. Or. Ballot. You know what I mean?
well,
I mean, we'll talk a couple of months, actually. Pretty much September. So, what do you think?
yeah, I think we should get started.
So do you think we should? Contact Kyle and Jeff Jakes about the roof and the painting over there and have them hold. So I don't want to spend the money if we don't have to.
All right, I agree with that. Yeah, because there's quite a bit of work that needs to be done before you paint it.
Right. Yeah. All the
Really?
picture boards.
Really hasn't been figured in to the painting. Okay.
Yeah, they did, he was talking about something about the fascia boards, all need to be replaced. Yeah,
Well, that little addition they put on the kitchen You know,
Oh, yeah.
that's all rock, oh, why, the outside of it,
Oh,
I could open part of it too,
right?
yeah.
and that is in front of shape.
So would you like to call Jeff and Kyle in for next week's meeting? And talk to them so that they know we're not yanking their chains or trying to pull a fast one?
Yeah, I think it would be, right thing to do, help them with it.
Right. Okay.
I mean, under the situation, this.
Yeah.
Are you meeting next for the Olympics?
Well,
You are, okay.
Tuesday ain't a holiday.
What happened?
Tuesday isn't a holiday, we're good.
you got too much to do.
Yeah.
Take a day off.
Okay, so. Alvina, if you would reach out to Kyle York and Jeff Jakes. For them to meet with us next Tuesday, Selectmen's meeting. Let's talk about the contracts for the community center, the painting with Jakes and the contracting with Kyle. Thanks, Jeff. Okay. Alright, so. Okay. Miss
We
Walker,
need to make a motion and vote on that or not?
for what? No, we're gonna talk to them first. We can't do the letter of intent until November.
Oh,
So we
okay.
can't do anything until then. Ms. Walker brought in, estimates for a camera sound system for recording. One is from North Ledge Technologies, 15,980. Stone Mountain Systems. Sorry. Okay. Is. Well. 10,274.80. And then we have Owl Labs, Meeting Owl 4, be right about $8,000 plus installation. You're familiar with these?
Yeah, Toastmasters, a lot of the clubs went through this trying to find systems so they could be hybrid now. The owl system was something that we looked into, but we made other. We were able to not have to use that. We did it all for free.
How'd you do it for free?
Well, someone brought in a TV, someone had a laptop, somebody invested in a camera, somebody else brought a speaker, you know. So we avoided that,
Oh,
but
when you're
yeah,
talking $15,000 or something, you can look into it a little bit.
Sure. Okay. All right, you reached out to Ideal Security as well, right? What comment? All right,
And use it in the community center for public meetings. And I think that's what the big dollar amount is, making something.
Portable.
Be.
right. All right, so you're gonna get back to us on the Ideal Security, see what he says? Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm a dummy. Yeah. Sad.
If you're in a town somewhere.
Right. Without square footage. Okay. All right, so we'll wait till we get to hear from Ms. Walker on the Ideal Security. We'll go forward with that. And then. That, do we have to pay subscription, YouTube subscription or anything for that? For upload or anything like that?
Yeah, the town one is free,
It's free,
yeah.
Okay.
No,
perfect.
no, free, so.
Yeah, free's good. Yeah. Right. Yeah, the clouds are better by far. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, correspondence folder. AvCog and MMA is organizing a series of Maine legislative candidate forums for candidates to facilitate dialogue between legislative candidates and municipal officers, Monday nights, 5 to 7. Yeah, you want to do one? Or this is just asking when we send it in and they do it. Yeah, okay. Perfect. Let's see what goes on that. Doesn't need signature. Yeah, we can. Yep. That's 2 years ago. That was the water test that we already talked about. Okay, Ideal Security takes care of all the security camera systems for the town. Instead of $19.95, it's $24.95 for the it's an increase of $5 per month. We got the money?
Yep, it was reasonable,
Yeah.
overdue.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So we have. This was August 16th, so 2 weeks ago, $697.20 is a payoff. To go back. 4 lines on the. Town phones, definitely need to. I need to have a chat about this.
Those are all months.
Yeah. So. Maybe set up a workshop with you, select board, we can go over all this. Get down to the brass tacks and figure out which direction we'd like to go, and then we can formalize everything in a in-session meeting. As far as that, so. Just let me know, what's a good schedule for you to meet, we'll do a workshop, advertise it, that way it's all legal. And talk about the phone situation, so we. Cause I mean, you're only looking at $697.20, we can save that. Just not paying that contract.
Alright,
That we're paying, so, so yeah, if you guys wanna let me know when you guys wanna do that. We're gonna schedule a workshop, to go over the town phone issue. Try to figure out some numbers and things of that nature. Be open to the public, be advertised, and then we'll make our decision in session selectmen's meeting. So the workshop will be to be determined. It's not a policy, yeah, it's like freight train. Okay, we had 2 complaint forms turned in. One was ACO related. Which you have, this is your copy right here. Right there. Which it's. You already addressed it with the outcome of 58 Denmark Road. The.
Back in 2023.
No, that's just a copy. It's what was on file. Look at your complaint form. Dated 8/26 yesterday. Yep, should be the very first page.
Don't get one. I did not get one.
So get multi lady. So
The other hand.
it's Barking Dogs, 58 Denmark. So the outcome of that is they're getting rid of their dogs. Simple as that. That's what they're claiming. So There you go.
Do you need a copy of this?
We have a copy.
Okay.
Another one, Bob Parker, needs a marriage license. So. Heather will be in tomorrow, correct? Alvina, if you would please give this to Heather.
Okay.
I will address it. I've already signed it and dated. Please make this a priority this week. Which moves to Mr. Parker. Soon as possible. Let's read my response. I'm not going to cover that. It's not appropriate. We got an email from Jess Davis on Brownfield Veteran Gravestone Repairs 2024. Aluminum braces, Nathaniel Merrill, Sylvester Stone, 3-part stack, Jonathan Littlefield, 3-part stack, Andrew Hill, same, Curtis Bean, upright military stone level, Clement Greeley, 3-pack, and mortar fill, Charles Bean, William Poor Jr., and Hasten O. Frost, the total cost of $1,000. She already been.
I haven't paid, no.
Okay, so I will. Eight, 7, 4. You would sign that, Frank, you made it, please. I already signed this one. So you've already got it on there?
If,
I signed.
no, Bill was from
Oh, okay.
Stan.
Okay.
You guys.
I think he already.
So yeah, I signed everything in those folders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's right there.
Okay, we had a letter sent to the town via the fire chief. Dear Mr. Peralt, 8/8/24, we were traveling eastbound on Route 160 after leaving Stone Mountain Arts Center. We were involved in a car accident at the above intersection after failing to stop. We did not see the stop signs. The police officer on the scene, Tim Montango, had told us more than once that evening that there had been multiple accidents at this intersection. Route 160. Where's 160 come up from? Stone Mountain Arts Center.
No, they had been to Stone Mountain, they were going home. So they went down Main Street and it was out here at the intersection.
Oh, of 113.
Yeah.
Oh. While parked at Dillon's, I walked over to the intersection and saw the 2 stop signs. 2 stop signs do not help and there is no lighting. I am writing to you today to request the town install a flashing light stop sign, maybe 2, or put the yellow flashing light back in that I was told was there and removed. We are from Scarborough and do not know that area well. You have a lot of people traveling through there to see shows at the Arts Center. Your town needs to make it safe for out-of-towners and your residents. I realize it is not up to you as chief, but if you could please share this letter to whom will take this into consideration. We were almost killed and are very thankful that all involved are okay. Wendy Saban, 3 Cedar Circle, Scarborough. So that intersection has been, DOT's been in that several times. They're not going to change anything. That complete intersection, other than Depot Street, is state. So, you know, there's nothing the town can do. We've had several DOT have come out and they did the study. So I don't want to tell these people. Well, please do. What? Right here, right at the end of Main Street and then 113, the big intersection. They were leaving. They were going back to start. I know. The biggest thing is we just, the state, I mean, with the fatality out here 4 years ago, there was, it's, DOT was up here, we had several meetings on it. DOT has not deemed that to be so unsafe to change the traffic pattern, add signage, add lights, anything like that. A blinking light, yep. Yeah, there's five, it's a 5 outlet. Yep.
So stay coming back and help us with anything that again,
Yeah. I know, I was on the brief in here, I was sitting there when the DOT gave the brief. I believe, Brian, you were here at the first brief, the first DOT brief that they had. I think that was you. Then that they're just not gonna do anything with it. You were involved, definitely. But that was like a 2-year, 3-year process with DOT and coming up here and measuring and doing traffic count, all of that, and there's really no reason for it.
I think it's a state, I think a lot of it had to do with the management in this town,
What?
as far as not getting those lights.
I'll disagree. I was on the board and the DOT presentation, I assure you. The guy, I can't remember the guy, he's a tall, skinny guy, wore glasses. He's the one that gave the presentation, and he stated that there's not enough of a right to justify the state coming in, putting in a roundabout, putting in any lights, putting in any rumble strips. How many years ago? How many years ago? Okay, I'm talking about the latest. Okay, the latest DOT, when I was on the board, when we had the fatality of Mr. Parker. That was the outcome that DOT presented to us, that there's not enough call. Basically, the way I took it, there's not enough people dying at that intersection routinely enough for DOT to come out here and make a traffic change or implement any type of speed reduction or change to make it not happen. So
Say Deb Barrel did a bunch of work on.
she did. Yep.
And then
Yep. Sure enough. Oh yeah, that was, I was in high school back then. All right.
Very true. Just say, stop.
I believe we have to ask DOT permission to place signs on a state road. We have to get their permission, and I'm here to tell you, the no parking signs down on 160, that was like pulling teeth out of an elephant to get those signs. Oh my God. You know, they got prisoners that make the signs and license plates, right? That took us what, 2 years to get those signs? No parking. Yeah, it was crazy to get signage from the state and just to get it approved. Snowville? Steep Falls?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got one of those.
This is what anybody else. I don't know if it would help the issue if people coming into town.
Again, we have to ask permission for DOT to put that on.
DOT gave us one of those trucks. Said that fire alarm, well, we don't need permission to set it up, we can set up.
On Main Street and our, not 113 was my understanding. There wasn't
It's a
for out there.
I don't. Why?
Did he have?
Well, he was testing out his trailer. He was testing out his trailer.
You should be on 160.
Sure.
You want. For that to go up through it. Okay. Yep. Yeah.
Hey, hair plugs. Yeah. We can ask DOT again. That's the guy. Randy. That's the dude. Yeah. Yeah. Randy Alien. Yeah. Got the new desk. Freedom, MMA, freedom of access, required training for the officials. There was myself, Frank, Bill, Cindy, and Alvina that attended. It was last Thursday at 4:30 to 6. Next safety building committee meeting will be 8:29, 6:30 here. 8:20, the web was posted with the meeting minutes. Budget committee meeting will be on 9/10, following the Board of Selectmen meeting right here. And the planning board will meet with the Board of Selectmen on 9/24 at 6 p.m. right here. Okay. Yep. On what off hours? You talking, well, Lynn's here all the time. Okay, it is my understanding, I've not spoken to her via phone, email. I received a text that she had a doctor's appointment today. She will be in attendance here tomorrow. And then she has another 2 doctor's appointments next week. But that is all that I know.
Well, I just need to know more details. It was just open 7 and.
Well, Elizabeth has been getting kind of speed training so that we can get that counter opened for longer periods. So. For town clerk,
I'm gonna use worst case scenario because that's usually what's right for people. If somebody dies, if they're efficient.
well, I would think being an elected official, first thing they're gonna do is speed it, read the elected officials handbook. First off, and they're gonna need to figure out the main statutes that they are required, because it's different for the treasurer, vice the town clerk, registrar, elections officer. So there's 3 different departments. So I would say no, there's not a policy book, or if somebody dies, crack the. Right. Yeah, I would say no. But doesn't mean one does not exist. Because I don't take my chunky butt in there and look around for a binder that says, if somebody dies, open this book, and it will show me what I have to do. I probably won't. I think some of the stuff, yes, rudimentary stuff, maybe. Right. Hence why I really think that the taxpayers gave us that opportunity when they approved that 3rd position. So that we do have the coverage. And knock on wood, I would hope and pray to God that at least, 2 out of 3 are here. Because if not, something bad's happened, stop drinking the water, might be radon. I'd really like, the coverage. But I will direct that question actually to an elected official. Because I know the board of selectmen doesn't have a how-to book.
I don't have a how-to book. I have what I call cheat sheets. So if somebody has to do something, he can just look and it says step by step, okay, now you go here, now you go there, now you go here. And I do have that for payroll and accounts payable. Those are the 2 things, because those are the important things. And then I have it, I've been creating it for like checking on rapid renewal and checking on real estate taxes and so forth, but I only really have 2 that are completed right down to the grid there, so people can just get in there and do it. Yeah.
These were, you had
And it's good, and I appreciate having like a cheat sheet, like I wish there were cheat sheets over at the clerk's counter right now, because me and Alvina have been like, "You press that button, see what happens," so,
You say that.
well, it's me press the button, see what happens.
Yeah, no.
Planning board has a workshop.
Anybody got anything? No, Frank?
I'm good.
Thank you. I think we're good.
Okay. I am going to make a motion that we go into executive session personnel per MRSA 4056A.
Correct.
And we will move this where the planning board has a workshop. We're gonna go into Alvina's office to conduct that. And the selectmen's meeting will be concluded from that office. Thanks, folks.
Thank you.
Did you see this? Where the DEP, so, okay, all right, so.